There is some breaking news coming in. The Trump administration has filed appeals against the decision of the Court of Appeals declaring Trump's tariffs as illegal. The Trump administration to the Supreme Court has said, and I'm going to quote them here, "We recently authorized tariffs against India for purchasing Russian energy products to deal with a pre-existing national emergency regarding Russia's war in Ukraine as a crucial aspect of our push for peace in that war-torn country." That's the latest coming in. We were just speaking to Harry Broadman there, who was criticizing the tariffs imposed by Trump on the Indian government and the country. But now there is developing news coming in that the Trump administration has filed an appeal against the decision of the Court of Appeals declaring Trump's tariffs illegal. This was, of course, an expected step, and the appeal is against the U.S. court order. In that appeal to the Supreme Court, the Trump administration has said, and I'm going to quote them here, "We recently authorized tariffs against India for purchasing Russian energy products to deal with a pre-existing national emergency regarding Russia's war in Ukraine as a crucial aspect of our push for peace in that war-torn country." You've had the US president also hold talks with Vladimir Putin. You've had Zelensky dialing in also with Indian Prime Minister Modi and other leaders. There has been an attempt to get both leaders of Russia and Ukraine to talk face to face. But the doubling down in terms of tariffs on India is something that Trump has reiterated will continue in terms of 50% tariffs. And in the latest, in terms of the setback that he was facing in the courts on the announcement of tariffs, which the appeals opposing Trump have said are illegal. Now you have Donald Trump's administration filing an appeal against the decision of the Court of Appeals declaring Trump's tariffs illegal. That decision we're expecting perhaps in a couple of days from now, but that move by Washington, D.C., something that was preempted, something that we were expecting, and something that now has happened. The appeal against the U.S. order is now also being filed by Washington, D.C. in this case, and this, of course, is in the top court in the U.S. And that fight will continue in the top court, where the Supreme Court is to hear the appeal to on the tariffs. I have Aditya Rajkol now joining me live. Aditya, this was an expected step, really.
Well, absolutely a big development coming at this hour, but quite expected that the Trump administration has now reached out to the Supreme Court. The Court of Appeals had put down the tariff plan of the Trump administration completely, which has been one of the top agendas of the Trump administration ever since it came in, changing the complete international order and also pushing in, tariffs against several countries all across the globe. India, in fact, places a special mention in that appeal. NDTV has accessed exclusively the entire appeal by the Trump administration, the Supreme Court of the United States. If I can quote and read on the page 3rd of the entire document, it reads, "We recently authorized tariffs against India for purchasing Russian energy products to deal with a pre-existing national emergency regarding Russia's war in Ukraine as a crucial aspect of a push for peace in that war-torn country." So certainly India is one of the prominent aspects of this appeal in the Supreme Court. They are pushing for an early hearing that can take place in the next couple of days. But clearly, the Trump administration not really, putting away the tariffs plan as of now. You'd remember Donald Trump has been speaking aggressively against India on this over the last few days. There's a lot of bullying that's happening from Washington, D.C. as well. And in fact, in this latest statement, Trump has said that India is willing to go for no tariffs. And if the tariffs from the U.S. had not been placed, then this kind of a statement from India wouldn't have come. But India is keeping, cards close to his chest. We'll have to wait and watch what the Supreme Court's decision in the United States would be. But certainly, the tariff issue clearly dividing the US society as a whole, because there are several commentators speaking against the US government and the Trump administration for actually putting the India-US ties and the bilateral relations which have gone south over the last few weeks.
And Aditya, a lot of criticism also coming in for Donald Trump over these tariffs, not only in India, but other countries as well.
Well, that's right. A lot of Democrats have spoken up. We have the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee also speaking up. We have a lot of commentators in the U.S. In fact, the recent visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the Russian President Putin and the Chinese President Xi Jinping not really going well with the Republicans and also Trump supporters. There's a huge divide that is shaping up, but there are others in the Trump camp as well who want India-US ties, strategic partnership to really go in a positive trajectory. As of now, it does seem like the divide remains. The US is also very closely watching the troika of Russia, China and India,
Yes.
which is really shaping up pretty well this time around. But as of now, it doesn't seem like there is any kind of a consensus or a trade deal, even as the negotiations continue behind closed doors.